The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is an action-adventure game developed and published by Nintendo for the Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo Wii U, originally released on March the 3rd, 2017. The player controls Link, who awakens from a 100-year slumber to defeat Calamity Ganon and save the Kingdom of Hyrule. Now, I would go further in depth with the story, but unfortunately, at the start of the game, everything is so vague, and honestly, I think that's for the best. Going into this game as vaguely as possible, and if you know nothing about this game at all, I think that's just the better way to experience this game. Now, if you do know everything, you're still going to have a good time because this is an awesome game. However, if you want to go into things blindly, I think that's the best way to experience this game. Much like the story in this game, the gameplay itself is kind of figured it out as well, in the sense that you just gotta take a chance. Sometimes it is a bit obvious as to what weapon will kill an enemy, but there are so many different types of enemies, and sometimes enemies will die quicker if you do it this one way, but you have to worry because you can't just go around hit shit blindly, because eventually your weapons will break, and that is a big problem. For me, the combat in this game is really fun, and it is addictive, but I really do not like the fact that the weapons break so easily. I just wish there was some kind of crafting ability to fix your weapons, and that would have made life a lot easier in this game. Visually, this game is very beautiful, with lush environments, and the colors are just really cool. I just love exploring a new area of Hyrule and just taking in the scenery, because this game truly is beautiful, and all the art I've seen from the promotional items and stuff like that, this is just a really beautiful game. And I just enjoy exploring and just seeing all the cool shit. Now, when it comes to the Legend of Zelda soundtracks, all of them are bangers, all of them are really good, and in Breath of the Wild it's no different. The soundtrack in Breath of the Wild is amazing. There is awesome epic music, there is awesome slow songs, and the characters that you do meet have awesome theme songs. However, my thing is that it's not in my top of the Legend of Zelda soundtracks. It's just, I prefer some of the other soundtracks in the Legend of Zelda series more than Breath of the Wild. However, I'm not saying it's bad. Breath of the Wild has an amazing soundtrack, and it is something I do listen to. It's just not one of my favorite Zelda soundtracks. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is an amazing game. It's definitely one of the best Switch games I've ever played, but it's not one of my favorite Zelda games. It is really, really good. It's just I like some of the other games in the franchise more, like Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, Ocarina of Time. However, Breath of the Wild is still amazing, and it's one of my favorite open world games. It probably is my favorite open world game, just because I can pop the game in whenever I want, and I'm discovering something new, even though I've beaten the game twice. And there's still so much for me to do. I haven't even 100% completed it yet, but by finding all the Korok seeds. I haven't even found all the shrines yet, but just experiencing the story, meeting all the cool characters, it was a true adventure, and I loved it. Now, for all of you Switch owners that for some reason don't have Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, it is definitely a pickup. I would definitely recommend this game to anybody, even if you're not a Zelda fan. I do truly think that Breath of the Wild may be one of the best Zelda games to get into the Zelda franchise, and it's just an awesome open world game. And now, for all three of you that own a Wii U, and you don't have a Switch and don't have Breath of the Wild, you could get it on that system, and I'm pretty sure it's good, but, the Switch is better. I'm kidding. But my patron, Nia, asked me a couple questions as I was making this video. She asked me, what are my opinions on Nintendo's move with the new Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, and how do I feel about them making this into a trilogy? Now, I had no idea that they were doing this. I gave less of a shit for the original Hyrule Warriors. Not saying it's a bad game, but I just didn't really care about it. So if this Age of Calamity game is going to have some story into it, then I actually have some more interest into it. And when I asked her about it, she said that Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity is going to be a prequel, and I am more interested because the world of Breath of the Wild is amazing. And I can't wait for Breath of the Wild 2 because that's just going to be awesome and I'm going to love it. And yeah, if the Age of Calamity games is good, maybe I'll pick up the original Hyrule Warriors, and who knows, maybe it'll be just as good. Maybe it'll be my favorite Zelda game of all time. And that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching this video. I know there's a ton of Breath of the Wild videos out there, and a lot of them are probably better than mine, but if you watched it all the way to the end, I thank you a whole bunch. This is an awesome game. I really do like playing this game. So Nia, thank you so much for having me wanting to review this, because this is an amazing game. Now, for all of you Zelda fans, let me know down in the comment section below what your favorite Zelda game is. Mine's always going to be Ocarina of Time and the Minish Cap. Those two games are probably like tied for one. I just love those games so much. Can we get a Minish Cap remake? Because that would be really cool. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for me. I hope you guys have an awesome day. And remember, stay classy. Big thanks to Stuff We Play, Warpbait, Nia-chan, and my newest patron, Miasma Senpai. You guys are awesome.